Alaga sarra loha.
خجي
Hello, am I audible? Hello,
Slow.
hello, am I audible?
यस सर आवाज आ रही है सर
जी
Okay,
सर
thank you.
आवाज आ रही
Thank you. Okay, let me first introduce myself.
जी सर
I'm Dr. Muhammad Adil, and I'll teach you research methodology. Here are 11 participants. All of you are
जी
available here.
यस सर
Yes, sir.
available.
Okay, now mute your speaker.
Okay sir.
Let me share the PowerPoint presentation, and likewise we will start, inshallah. Okay, are you ready?
यस सर
Can you see this research title, the title of your topic?
Yes,
sir we
sir.
can see.
Okay, now mute your speakers. We will talk in detail about the research methodology, as this is very important, one of your most important subject, and your whole program depends on your research. MPhil is actually research oriented work. It's nothing like theoretical, as you have been through your academic career from nursery to masters. In masters, all of you, they were given options of opting either research or additional paper. So here, the main theme of your work, the main paradigm of your work is to do research. And here we will read all the aspects, the detail, the perspectives of a research methodology. So as this is very important, one of the important and significant subjects, so I need your attentions. Listen me vigilantly and with quite great surveillance, so that you will understand that what actually research is and what are the basic steps in carrying out research? What are the perspective of research and what is the scope of research? Here we can see that research is actually finding out the facts. Research mean we will find the facts and we will give answers to different unknown questions about the ungiven facts. Here, why is research started? These are the bases we do research. The first thing is that why is research started? Second, what are the reasons behind the formulation of the hypothesis? Third, how can research problems be known? What and from what sources data have been gathered and what specific method will be best worked? This is a general topic. We have lots of disciplines. We have lots of nexus domains and areas where we do research. And all those aspects, they vary from numerical sciences to social sciences and then life sciences. There are steps which vary, but some steps they are strictly and critically in a streamlined position which we will follow. There are basics which are same for all the areas where we do research. Types of research methodology. Research is to know the facts, and there is a way of doing research which is called methodology. Design of carrying out research, it is called methodology. The way, the procedure, the technique which will we use in accomplishment of research and carrying out different types of activities in order to accomplish our research. We will do different types of techniques. We will carry it out different types of technologies, which we will carry different types of activities in different forms. So all those techniques, procedures, ways, they are called methodologies. There are two types of research methodologies. Before going into the detail of these types, let me tell you that we do have two types of ways, two kinds of methods. First is inductive and the second is deductive, which we will talk about later. Now, first let's discuss types of research methodologies. The first one is qualitative methodology. Qualitative methodology, it is descriptive in nature and it is also subjective in nature. It depends on the observations. What happened in qualitative methodology, it is actually a very vast field in which we find out variables. Before going into the detail, I would just ask you to participate and tell me your areas of research one by one.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Shah Fahad.
Walaikum assalam.
My research area is psychology, LG.
Good, excellent. Okay, now I want all of you to contribute during the lecture because I want to know your area of interest, and likewise, while discussing research methodology, I'll give examples from your specific areas. So the reason I want all of you to tell me about your areas, as you have told that you are doing your area or field of specialization is psychology. So I'll also configure this and I will count it while delivering you my lecture, right? Shafahad, your area is psychology.
Yes, sir.
Have you select any topic for your research?
Sir, it is the algal assessment of
From which?
river, which is there in the Charsadda district.
That's great. Okay, now you can mute your speaker. Thank you so much. Next, please.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir Imran Khan, or sir, my research topic was in ethnobotany, and the topic was ethnoveterinary medicinal plants of Shalpin Valley, Swat.
Swat, medicinal plants. You are working on medicinal plants.
Yes, sir. The master topic was that, but in MPhil I didn't have select any topic yet.
So where will you start your research? What is your field of specialization which you intend to start in your research?
Sir, in master, I mean in BS, I selected that topic in ethnobotany, but in master, I will have to discuss it with the teachers at university.
It's okay. So
Inshallah.
you can go for some pharmacognostic or pharmacological and phytochemical screenings,
Yes,
and
sir,
wherein
I
you
have
will
decided
work
in
on
my
some
mind to go
specific
there.
what?
Pharmacognostic field, such type of field. I want to do research in that field
Okay,
as far as I had decided in my mind yet.
that's great. There's Imran.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now you can mute your speaker.
Okay.
Next, please.
Can you hear me, sir?
Okay, yes, yes.
My name is Zainab, and I didn't opt any kind of topic in masters. I remember it was my paper, but right now I'm just intending that I would go for ethnomedicinal, in which I want to work on phytochemicals and the pharmacognosy. Like this is my most, I'm most interested in this topic. So that's
That's
why
really
I would be
great.
going
It's
for
a
it.
laboratory work is a work where you can publish lots of papers. So that is a good
Exactly.
idea. And
Yeah.
ethnobotany and pharmacognosy are phytochemical screening. These are two a bit diverse fields. So you will discuss it with your teachers, and then you will come to a point that whether your main focus will be ethnobotany or it will be pharmacognostic, phytochemical, or pharmacological activities. So that's good. So nice of you. Next,
Thank you,
please
sir.
kindly mute your speaker.
Sir, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, my name is Muhammad Izar, and my BS research topic, floristic diversity, ethno medicinal plants, Peshawar, and district Mohammed Agency.
That's great. You have done your research. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And ethnobotany.
Yes, sir. Ethno board, sir.
That's great. And now you will go for which field of specialization? For which specific?
Sir, teacher discussion to university. Sir, वो कह रहा है कि microbiology पर करे sir.
It's okay. That's really great. We should have a variety of work in order to get quality
Yes, sir.
work. That's great. That's great. Thank you. Mute your speaker now.
Thank you, sir.
Next, please. Next. Anybody? Okay, now let's start. Qualitative method, I said it is descriptive and also subjective in nature, and it is based on the observations. And it is very much important in this method. What is important? Important is observation and description. How? Most of you have worked so far. We talked ethnobotany and medicinal plants, and even phycology. If we talk about phycology, we can see that why will we do our research? In order to contribute where? In the aggrandizement. Aggrandizement means culmination. It means development. It means bringing some positive changes in the society. This is the main theme of research. Why we do research? To make this world a beautiful, very good place for life and survival. This is our main theme of research. So we will do our research to see if we can help our society in terms of medicine, in terms of different kinds of technologies, in terms of socio-economical culmination. So all these factors, they matter in opting research. We do research in order to make this society more self-sufficient in different aspects. As we earlier talked, that we can give benefit in different ways, from socio-economical culture to medicinal. We can participate in health activities, we can established, and we can develop more drugs, more pesticides, more insecticides, and we can promote the quality of crops. We can introduce different drugs with which we can cure different kinds of ailments, right? Now, let me come to the point. It would mean that a qualitative method would mean that we are going to elaborate. If let's suppose we are talking about a specific algae, what we will do while using this very specific qualitative method, we will do we will try to elaborate all the ingredients like bioactive constituents, like fatty acids, like phenols, tannins, etc. So we will detect all the available ingredients present in that specific species. It means if we are going to elaborate and to detect all the available good ingredients which can help us in different ways in terms of proteins, carbohydrates. If let's suppose we are going to do, we are going to carry out essential activity, nutritional activity, fatty acid activity, or genotoxic activity, or antispasmodic, anti-helminthic, anti-inflammatory activities. What will what will happen? We will come to know about different phytochemical screenings. We will come to know about the bioactive constituents present in this very specific species or in group of different species. So if we are going to detect this huge amount of things, I would say things because it includes lots of fatty acids, as I told you earlier. So it would mean we are doing qualitative work. We want to know, identify things present in these specific. Now, if we talk about plants, medicinal plants, so then we will see whether those plants which are available in plain areas, in tropical areas, in high altitude areas, which of them contain most of the bioactive constituents, most of the fatty acids, most of the oils, fixed oil, essential oils, which ingredient is in high amount, or which plant contain maximum number of such type of ingredients which can be used for different kinds of ailments and different kinds of health activities. So it means we are doing qualitative method. We have opted qualitative method. Qualitative method, it's about the quality of your selected area, and what will how it impact, what will impact if the maximum is the amount of the ingredients, the qualitative is your work. And if you can pose maximum effect on different kinds of activity, if a plant contain maximum number of ingredient bioactive constituents, so what will happen, it will be having a large number of caring potential in curing different types of ailments. So this is a kind of qualitative. Now let's come towards the aims. What will happen if we opt qualitative method? It will help us evaluate knowledge, attitude, and behavior and opinion of the people about research topic, and we would be able to understand research as nearly as possible. Next. Sorry, it has stopped working. Can you see the next slides?
No, sir.
You cannot see.
No, sir.
Are you
No,
all
sir.
free? Let me consult IT so that you'll be able to see these slides. Otherwise, it would be difficult for you. What to do then? You cannot see. You cannot see them.
We can.
सर अभी नजर आ रहा है क्वांटिटेटिव मेथड.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, sir,
Quantitative method.
quantitative method.
Right. It's quantitative method. Can you all see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between qualitative and quantitative? Now, let me first tell you quantitative method. Quantitative method would mean that we would be a bit specific now. What we read in qualitative method, we read that the number variables, we saw variables. The more the variable are, like the more the phenols, fatty acids, the more ingredient were there, the work were qualitative. Right now, in quantitative method, we would see what we would see. We would see that how much the amount of the phytochemicals, the amount of the ingredients, we will calculate the specific amount of the ingredients, and we will become more specific in this method. We will see that which specific ingredient is responsible for different kinds of activities. So here we can see that was a kind of descriptive method, and this is figurative in nature. We will see figures here, we will do analysis, and we will gather data. Though it's a bit different to gather data from different areas, there are different types of factors which affect gathering data. Why I am talking about the data? Because this is more concrete work, and this is a type of deductive work actually, wherein we study things and we calculate its number, the amount, the very specific nexus of anything. We calculate here and we do analysis over that work. How? Can anybody of you tell me? What did you conclude from what I said about quantitative method? Imran. Don't repent over telling me your names now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Imran, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay, so what did we conclude from this quantitative method?
Sir, from quantitative method, we can find out the quantities of some things. I think some like contents in the specific plant, that what quantity of a specific content is present in that plant, that we can use for some purposes like medical purposes or any other purpose.
That's great. That's great. Next. Okay, Zainab, can you tell me that what is the major difference between quantitative and qualitative work?
Yeah, sure, sir. Quantitative is actually the in which we study the number of like something on which we are doing research, and quality is just to check its effect on another thing. Like let's suppose if we are doing some research about the plant, so we are going to check its quality, like how is it going to affect the other plant in the lab or maybe in the field, like its growth and all. That is the
Where
qualitative
is the
research. And
difference wherein we can decide that this work is qualitative or quantitative? Like what physico-chemical structures can tell us about the difference about the qualitative and quantitative method?
in quantity, we are just going to focus on the number. Like for example, the number of experiments, or the you can say the measurements, or the quantity and the amount and all. This is the
That's
quantitative.
and qualitative, what would we mean? Because we also see variability there in qualitative. A plant will be more qualitative, the research will be more qualitative if it contains a number of ingredients. So don't you think we are also talking about numbers in qualitative? Then where is
We
the
are, but
drastic
we are
difference?
right now focusing more on the quantitative method.
What do you said?
I said that we are right now focusing on the quantitative method that which we are studying right now.
Okay, okay, thank you. The first one which told me about psychology, sorry, I forgot your name.
Sir, my name is Shafahad.
Shah Fahad.
सर क्वालिटेटिव मेथड में हम इस तरह करते हैं कि जो फैक्टर्स है यानी जो उसकी जो उसको अफेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं जैसे कि टेम्परेचर हो गया जैसे कि सॉलिड सॉलिबिलिटी हो गई एलजी के लिहाज से हम वाटर को लेते हैं तो इसको हम कहते हैं क्वालिटेटिव और क्वांटिटेटिव में हम नंबर पे फोकस करते हैं कि कितने आज जिस तरह आपने कहा कि हम स्पेसिफिक हो जाते हैं कि इसमें कौन कौन से केमिकल्स हैं तो ये सर
Is
इस तरह
that, what about the next? I forgot his name as well. Ethnobotanical. Who worked on ethnobotany?
Sir, Muhammad Izhar, sir.
Muhammad Izhar. Muhammad Izhar. What
Yes,
do
sir.
you think? Can we, conclude? Let's come on a point, and which would be called, a very concluding point, and that would be called the very concluding difference between quantitative and qualitative. Can you tell me in a one word, and a one word difference, I would say?
Sir, quantitative and qualitative, sir.
Yes.
सर क्वांटिटेटिव जो है ये हम नंबर के लिहाज से जाहिर कर दे सर और जो क्वालिटेटिव है वो प्लांट्स में जो खास खूबियात होती है सर जैसे कि मेडिसिन के लिहाज से यूज होते हैं सर केमिकल लिहाज से सर इस तरह के जो प्लांट्स है सर
Okay, thank you, thank you. Now mute your speaker. Okay, let me give you a one word difference. The first one, where quality depend is variability. If there are lots of variables, it will be more qualitative. It's in terms of vegetation. If there is a flora and there are variables of vegetations, it means that that place, that vegetation is qualitative. And then if we would start talking about the frequencies and densities, so we became specific and it would be called quantitative, right? So it is systematic and in number includes it. What it includes: laboratory experiments, econometrics, mathematical calculations, surveys, and simulations. Measurement, quantity, amount, all these things, we are talking about the amount, the number, because when we will talk about the amount and the number and the figures, when will we become specific, when we be a point centered, when we will talk about a specific point, then we will use critical factors, and then we will use specific measurements in order to find out the facts about a specific thing. The result obtained from this research methods are analyzed and interpreted easily. Quantitative methods are statistical techniques that helps in sophisticated analysis. Like how? If we want to find out, let's suppose in spasmodic activity, if we want to find out, let's suppose genotoxic activity, what would happen? We will see different parts of a plant. Let's suppose we want to see that which of the plants contain maximum number of phenols. So, now we are talking about phenols. We forget about like other fatty acids and other phytochemicals and other ingredients like other elements, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. We are now specific to phenols, let's suppose. So we will see that which part contain maximum number of phenols, which we will be able to use for different kinds of activity. So if we came to know, let's suppose that there is a plant which is called Acacia, and leaves of Acacia contain maximum number of phenols, then we will do another activity. We will be going towards more specification. What we will see that, okay, leaves contain maximum number of phenols, but in which specific season? Then we will go for further specification, and we will see that either in winter the leaves contain maximum number of phenols, or in summer. So in this qualitative and quantitative work, we became more specific. Okay, now we talked about the research and methodology of research. it's one of the topic of your syllabus. We will, while we read research methodology, what we actually read, it is actually science. So we will come towards the branches of science, and I would ask you again one by one. I think there are more participants, but they are all of them are not participating. I can see a number of participants, but I cannot hear all of them. So I would like to all, and I would ask you all to participate and give me your answers in terms of science, what you can see, what science actually is. One by one, please. Shah Fahad.
सर जिस तरह हमने पढ़ा है पिछली क्लासेस में कि द सिस्टमेटाइज नॉलेज व्हिच इज ऑब्टेन्ड थ्रू ऑब्जर्वेशन एंड एक्सपेरिमेंट, यानी मुशाहिदात और तजुर्बात से हासिल किया हुआ इल्म, उसको हम साइंस कहते हैं.
That's great. Thank you. Next.
Sir, the systemized knowledge which is
Systemized
tend
knowledge.
to observations, experiments is called science.
That's good. Excellent. Next, please. Who is whispering?
That's other definition.
Okay, can you all please tell me about science?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Science is the study which is based on our observation and the evidences that we have or we have collected from the experiments. Is science.
That's great. Next, please.
Sir, science is the knowledge which the world natural things and our physical observation and experimentation is called science, sir.
That's great. Next, I want to listen all of you. Rest of your friends are tacit. Why? Okay, science is the knowledge of, or if we want to know about, our surrounding, a very simple, in a scientific way, if we want to know about our surrounding, but how would we know about our surrounding? Through a scientific method. Scientific, what we mean by scientific, there will be an approved design. Scientific, what does scientific mean? Approved design is called scientific means of knowing anything about anything, right? So if we do have an approved design of knowing things about our surrounding, this is science, right? Now, science is actually, it's a Latin word from scientia. It means knowledge. It can be about anything present in this universe. It can be about the earth. It can be about the heavens. It can be about the gases, different kinds which we can't even see, and it can be about life. So getting or obtaining knowledge to an approved design about anything is called science. In a very broader sense, it has been divided into three different types. The first one is physical, the second earth, and third is life. Now to further elaborate it, let's see its division. They are further divided into three. Those types which I talked about, they were more specific. Now these are a bit general. These branches are types, they're called scientific fields. They are also called scientific disciplines. The first one is formal science. It is mathematics or machine sciences cover the area of formal sciences like computer sciences. Now, natural sciences, this is a broader term which is further specified. We can see in the subheadings. It includes cosmological, geological, physical, chemical, biological factors of the universe. All these factors, they are covered in natural sciences, and this natural sciences can be further divided into two sub branches, which is known as physical sciences and life sciences. And physical sciences, we read many things like geology, physical, chemical, all these cosmological, in which we study about astronomy, in which we study about heavenly bodies, and life sciences. The next one is social sciences. Human behaviors, social and cultural aspects cover this nexus of science, and it also psychology is covered in this social sciences field. Sociology, so not only psychology, economics, all these, they are covered in social sciences. Now philosophy, it's again I would like to ask you, because you're students of philosophy, you're doing master in philosophy. So what do you think philosophy actually is?
Philosophy is the study of mind.
Good, great. And who is talking about philosophy?
Shafat, sir.
Shafahad. Okay, Shafahad, it's the, what you said?
Sir, it is the study of mind, wisdom.
That's great. Study of mind and wisdom, you said. Next.
Yes. About
Sir,
the
it's
thing that
to,
how and why these things are.
Good, great.
sir, psychology is actually the thinking and the
Philosophy.
ideas of a person about, sorry, sir, philosophy.
Ji, ji, ji.
It's about the thinking or the mind of a person which he set about something, or which can also say that psychology is to find out something and its reality
That's great. Good.
through truth. मतलब जो आइडियाज है और जो ट्रूथ है उनकी बुनियाद पे किसी चीज की गहराई तक जानना जो है ये भी फिलॉसफी है सर.
Good, excellent.
Maybe I'm wrong, sir.
No, it's okay. That's great. Okay, thank you. Next.
May I talk about it, sir? Philosophy
yes,
is
sure.
actually the study of existentials, in which we are talking about the fundamentals or the existence of something. Like it's a broader term in which we can include the wisdom as well.
That's great. That's great. Next, please.
Sir, the philosophy is a lot of knowledge and experience. Sir, that is called philosophy.
That's great. Anybody else? Okay. Philosophy is above the all. Philosophy, it tells us about the realities. Through philosophy, we dig out the truths. Who are we? Why are we here? And who are actually we? What is this universe? What is present in this universe? Every particle of this universe, every angle, every aspect, everything that is present in this universe. Why is this present in this universe? Why mountains are there? Why trees are there? Why is there a sun? And why is there a moon? Why are we born? What is birth? What is youth? What is aging? Why is this gonna happen? What do we have with this universe? What is our relationship with the water? What is our relationship with the birds, with the fishes? All these things, to find out an accurate answer, it encompasses It actually occupies the space of philosophy. So philosophy is actually above the all. We can see it's father of all the fields. Philosophy tells us about doing research. It is actually a field, it is a domain, it is a nexus wherein we go persuade things, design work, and then find out answers. It is actually philosophy who directs us towards some points, who tell us to work on some mysteries, towards it directs us to go for some mysteries and elaborate that those mysteries, and to find out what actually those mysteries are. So it tells us about the clandestine things, clandestine, the things which are present underneath. Why this pandemic? Like, what is this pandemic? Why this world came into being? What are diseases? What are plants? And our relationship with all this universe. So we can see through this philosophy, we came to know about different truths. We have digged out many mysteries. We have elaborated evidently and explicitly many obscure things. We have elaborated many explicit. Okay, two participants raised hands. Anybody want to say something?
Yes, sir.
What?
Sir, philosophy is, it is also, as I told you, that it's a broader term because it's not only about science, but this word or its studies can also be implemented to our religion. Like there are two types of philosophy. We can say that according to our religion and according to the physical science that we are living in. So in both cases, the meanings would be different then.
Exactly. Dev and revelations, which we will talk about. We are talking about devil. There are sources of knowledge. And as I told you that it's above the all, and it's father of all the knowledges and field and nexons and domains and areas. So it actually in every and every specific area which we will talk about, philosophy will be there above the all, who will direct us to do things, to find out truths. Is that clear now? Okay, now let's see the study of fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence, especially when considered as an academic discipline. The term philosophy means love of wisdom. It tells us about what comes in mind, why are we born. I specific, this is research methodology is a subject of all the disciplines, chemistry, botany, IE or education, political science. So what we will do, we will link it with botany. The reason I gave examples about the plants and we are going to obtain medicines from the plants. What is the thing? Who is the head who direct us towards obtaining drugs from plants? Actually, the philosophy. Who told us that there might be some useful things present in the plants which you will go for, you must go for, and you obtain those things and then use it for different kinds of curing different kinds of ailments? It was actually philosophy, right? So obtaining truth through some designed, approved designs, this directs us by philosophy, right? So we will link this philosophy with our field, which we are students of, right? That's why I specified this, though the philosophy is above the all and it's actually the director of all the fields. Okay, it is, what is philosophy? It is an activity people undertake when they seek to understand fundamental truths about themselves, the world in which they live, and their relationship to the world and to each other. now you came to the point that it's actually, to know that who actually we are. Then what is this world? What is this universe? What are the things which are present in this universe? And what is our relationship with all these things which are present in this universe, and our own relationship, interaction with each other? This is called philosophy. Okay, now types of philosophy. There are 4 types of philosophy. The first one is metaphysics, which talks about the world, the material world affairs, the things which are present in this universe, like earth. What is earth? What is this world? How this world came into being? For how long we are going through and this is called the universe? For how long? And what are actually stars, and what are beyond the stars? There are 2 approaches. One is critically linked to our religion, which we, and like, we know why this world came into being. Why are we born? Because we are being told by our religious scholars, and we know all those facts. And second is a scientific approach, through some reasonings, and through some logical reasonings, they talked about the existence of world, that how this world came into being. Can you all tell me, anybody of you, can you tell me the very specific theory about the creation of this universe, that how this universe came into being and what was
The
it?
Big Bang Theory.
Exactly, that's great. Now, as you said, the Big Bang Theory, so it means that you knew about it. Then I will ask other participants to tell me that what Big Bang Theory told us about the creation of this universe. Let me check the list.
Sir,
Ji. Ji.
sir, according to Big Bang Theory, the entire world, the entire universe was like a big ball in the initial stage. So it got heated continuously, and at the end, it was not able to bear that heat and that pressure. So it burst
That,
and exploded, and due to that explosion, the continents, the stars, the planets, etc., came to existence.
that's great. That's great. Now, I would like, thank you. I would like Enzimamul Haq to answer. Enzimamul Haq, are you there? Enzimamul Haq. Enzimamul Haq, can you hear me? Tariq Saeed, can you hear me? It means that they are only spiritually available here. Their bodies are and minds are somewhere else, or they are only online. Shafahad?
जी सर.
Okay, you are there. Okay. Noman Ali? Noman Ali, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Why are you silent, man?
Sir, there are some problem. Network.
Which one? Cartoonic network problem or real? Okay,
Yes,
so
sir. There.
we want to
Sir,
listen
आवाज
to
ना आ रही मसला है सर जी.
Can you hear me? Noman
So
Noman
your
Ali,
voice problem is
it's okay. It's okay. This is, quite old, lame excuse. कुछ भी कह दो, कुछ भी कह दो, कोई मसला नहीं है.
सर जी
नोमान Ali.
इंजमाम
ये
हक
सबके
सर
साथ
जी
है, एक
आवाज मसला है सर.
شرط ايش ده आवाज مسألة ذلك.
नेटवर्क खराब दे सर जी इंजमाम अल हकीम सर
Inzamam ul Haq. Can you listen me now? Would you be able to answer if I ask you a simple question? It's a kind of discussion. So we will come to know, we will talk to each other and we will just, we will get synchronized to each other. So it's a kind of discussion. Participate किया करें सब. ये ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है जिसके आपको मार्क्स मिलने हैं या आपको मार्क्स आपसे कटने हैं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. पार्टिसिपेट करें, कुछ भी कहें, मुझसे कुछ पूछें.
जी सर
Who is talking now? Inzimam or Tariq?
तारिक से जी
Tariq Said is talking. Okay, Tariq Said, should I ask you a simple question? Can we discuss about a simple thing, which we talked about Big Bang Theory and this world, it was burst and then it came into being. How?
जी सर सुन रहा हूँ
Tariq Said, can you hear me?
सर
हाँ Tariq Said دارت ووایا دي خبرو که چې دا دنیا د یو ګول بالو بیا دا سبلاست شو دا جوړه شو. Which logical reasoning will tell us about this fact? How we will say that yes, it's a fact, it was a round ball and then it came into being? How can we understand this fact by saying this, that it was a round ball and now it became a universe? What is the factor, or what you think? How would we convince someone to accept it as a reality, that no, that it was really a round ball and then it came into being, this universe came into being due to a burst?
हेलो सर
आपको समझ आई मेरी तारिक साहब? ये दुनिया कहते हैं गोल बाल था और फिर ये ब्लास्ट हुआ और फिर यूनिवर्स बना ना. तो मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि हम इसका कौन सा, क्या लॉजिकल कोई रीजन हो सकता है? कोई हम किसी लेमैन को कैसे कन्विंस कर सकते हैं इस बात पे कि ये लॉजिकल रीजनिंग हो गई ना, कि हम कैसे कन्विंस करें किसी को कि ये जो हम कह रहे हैं या बिग बैंग थ्योरी जो कह रही है तो ये ठीक कह रही है?
हेलो सर
Who is this? Okay, Tariq said, mute your mic.
जी आवाज नहीं
Okay, mute your mic now. Okay, Enzimam al Haq, can you hear me? Hina Zaman is here. Hina Zaman. Okay, tell us. Zainab Kalsoom, tell us about the fact. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, tell us about the fact. How would we be able to convince a layman that, this was actually a round ball and then after a blast, this universe came into being?
Okay, I like I can explain it in my own words.
Yes, that's right.
I read it somewhere that just like in human body, the whole energy of this world is actually compacted into one point. Okay, and that was actually the point from where that Big Bang theory started, like the explosion of that compact ball. So, like that point is present, it's still in this universe, but the scientists are unable to find that. I read it somewhere. I cannot say that this is the evidence that I have and it can be true. It cannot be true, but I just read it. I'm just telling it.
It's okay, that's great. There is a very, challenging and very logical reason of this fact, and why it comes to know why the scholars and world start accepting this theory. Because any theory, we will talk about theory later, like spontaneous generation, they were rejected because after some time, scientists work on that very theory and hypothesis, and they said that no, this is not actually the truth. So up till now, the Big Bang theory that is considered to be right because there is a challenging factor, I would say. Shafahad, do you have something in your mind
Sir, I
about
don't
that?
know much about the Big Bang theory, sir.
You do not know. Okay, Imran Khan, would you like to tell us?
Sir, I don't know exactly, but I will tell about it according to the
Your view.
observation that we do every day. Sir, if we heat something like a glass, etc., it will eventually burst. So the same was there, and I think it was fission and fusion reaction there,
Hmm.
which causes the heating of that ball, and after it bursting, the planets, etc., came to exist. And if we look at the history of the Earth, sir, so in the initial stages, it was very hot, and there was no life here, according to science, sir.
That's great.
So
That's,
it was. Uh, it also suggests that Big Bang theory that it was right, sir. And uh,
okay. That's great. That's great, Imran Khan. Thank
are you
you.
listening me, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. You are audible. You are audible. Tell us.
Okay, sir. So, sir, then the Earth start cooling slowly or gradually, and the vegetation, the life came here. So,
Hmm.
if the Big Bang theory is wrong, so this history will also be wrong, sir. Then,
Hmm. This
so
is one
many
of the.
factors support that theory, sir.
That's great. That's good. Thank you, Imran. Thank you. Okay. Now
May I
tell
say
me.
something, sir?
Yes, yes, sure.
Sir, actually, the main problem is that there are still some flaws in this Big Bang theory. The first one is that if we are talking about the heat, like all the things got heat up. So from where did that heat come? The first question, like if we are saying that the particles were moving and that produced heat. So from where that heat came?
Exactly.
And it also doesn't support the first and second law of thermodynamics. So
That
that's why there are still some flaws in this Big Bang theory. So that's why people are resisting. They are not accepting this theory. If we talk about religiously, so according to our religion, there is nothing like there isn't anything existing in this world, just like the Big Bang theory. But if we talk about according to the science, then yes, we have to accept it because in physics and in the chemical reactions, we have studied that the two chemicals are joined and or the combined, then they are making something else. So in that case, we can accept it, but not according to our religion. This is also one of the reasons that Socrates asked question that what's the purpose of this life? If we are saying that Big Bang theory was the reason just to create life on this earth, so why should we only talk about this earth? There are some other stars or there are some other
this is the
places in
point
this
which I will
universe
talk
on
about.
which we can say the life is existing.
That's great. That's great, Zainab. Thank you. Okay, now let me tell you, in Surah Sajda, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that I have created this world, this earth in 6 days, right? So it was created. This earth, this world, they were not present before. And then every planet, it's revolving in their own line, right? So all these factors we know, it is very much clear from Quran. Now, let me tell you about this fact that why it is a bit challenging in this very advanced area. If you will say something uneducated, people will start pointing out you that, this is a wrong statement because we have a logical reason for receding or declining your view. So it's not straight away declined yet. So it means that there must be some challenging views of this Big Bang theory, which the people are compelled, they are unable to decline it straight away. So let me tell you some, uh, you may understand and you will say, yes, it actually, the fact. With the passage of time, the distance between the stars, it is increasing, right? With the passage of time, the stars, they are getting far away from each other. With all this passage of time, with all the passing times and the passing days, the stars and all these things which are available in this universe as a planets and stars, etc., not only Earth, they are getting apart, they are getting away from each others. So what they said that now let's suppose creation of this universe is something else, right? Like it has came into being, this universe came into being. So it's okay, there can be lots of reasons, but why they considered it as a round ball? What is the reason, the very logical reason that they said that it was actually a round ball? And from where it came that it, anything which will, if there is a round ball, and if that is the base of creation of universe, obviously either from external sources it will be bursted, someone will come and it will be broken, or it will burst from some internal. So there is no such thing in science that someone came and he actually hammered it and then it was burst and or broke and this universe came into being. So the logical reason is that there was some internals, as we can see in lavas, etc. So there was internal heat, and because of that heat it was burst, and then this universe we can see. Because with the passage time, with the growing time and eras, these stars, they are getting away from each other. So if we will reverse this process, like let's suppose they are at 1,000 billion kilometers away from sun, let's suppose moon, or let's suppose Mars or Jupiter. So after spending years, this distance is increasing. And what if we go back to like 5,000 years, it will come closer. Then again 5,000, then it will come more closer. Then again it will come more closer. And what will happen? It will become a round ball. So this is actually the logical reason they said that it was a ball. And why this university came? Obviously of some internal heat. So this is actually the logical reasoning they are talking about, that with the passage of time, if the distance is increasing, so if we go back to that time, what will happen? They will just get closer and closer and closer and closer, and then what will happen? It will become a ball, right? So these are logical reasons. Now you got my point. Okay, so we were talking about the metaphysics, universe, material
Yes.
affairs, right? Stars, moons, etc. These are covered in these metaphysics. All of you got it? If you have any question regarding this topic, you can ask me. Okay. 1 minute. Epistemology, the second type. The second type is epistemology. What does it mean? It is the study of knowledge. What is knowledge? And why we talk about knowledge? This is actually the commencement of everything. This is the very first step towards research methodology. What it covers, it actually covers the observation. If you have eyes and if you observe something, and then you will see, if let's suppose we came from a planet and we do not know about plants, that what are plants actually, and we saw a plant for the very first time, let's suppose. So what we will see, first we will observe, first we will see that they contain some flat structures, flat fleshy type, elastical type, which leaves, let's suppose, and then they contain a rod-like structures which are called stem. So first we will observe things, and that is the commencement actually of everything. It is knowledge. Until and unless we obtain knowledge about anything, we cannot persuade that thing, we cannot work on that specific things. So for getting knowledge, for getting any kind of results, for getting any kind of data, for analyzing any kind of thing, for getting any kind of specific critical knowledge, we must know things about that specific area, specific vegetation, specific population. If let's suppose we want to do work on medicinal plants, so first of all we will review that which are the plants which do possess medicinal values. So this is actually knowledge. So knowledge is the very first step towards getting anything. The first thing which you will do, the commencement of anything is knowledge. If you do have knowledge about anything, you can work on that thing. Okay. So there are main bases of knowledge, which are four. The first one is Devon relations, which is spiritual in nature, and which has nothing to do with your personal time or personal effort or personal exertions. So this is nothing like that. It's a Devon revelations, like we can see Quran, and we came to know about the very reality of this world, of our life, and what will happen when we will die. So it was Devon revelation. Second thing is experience. Experience, we experiences things, how to deal people, how to treat, before the advent of this medications, people used to eat plants for caring different. Even today, these are the remedies, which in northern areas or hilly areas, they used plants for wounds and for different kinds of ailments like cough, like spasm, like diarrhea. They use different kinds of plants which cure them. So all these things, they are strictly related to experiences. So as we are botanists, so I talked about the medicinal plants and their uses, and social sciences we can see, and behavioral sciences we can see that if you are in psychology, there are types of peoples which you will once meet, you will understand their mentality, and you will come to know that whether they are trustworthy or not, whether they are punctual or not, whether we can work together or not, and how much changes we must bring in our partner in order to make a streamline our peaceful deal, etc. So these are actually the experiences. The third one is logic and reasoning, and this is the most important things, from where deductions and hypotheses came out, right? So logic and reasons are the things which tells us these are actually the possible answers to different questions. And then after that, what we do, we test these things or ideas with experiments, which either acknowledge that idea or simply repeal. Repeal means recedes, or we can say reject. So there are 2 points. If we experience something, if we saw something or observe something, we will give them all those facts some logical answers through reasonings, that why is this called, like let's suppose if someone came from a different planet and then they start talking about, or let me give you a very simple example. From a different planet, a person came and he saw that there is a fan in a room, and then when he on the button, it start working, and when he off the switch, then it stop working. So what he conclude, that there is actually water coming in these lines, and which enable this fan to start work. Some will say there are actually gases which come in these lines which enable this fan to work, and some will say that no, there are actually currents. These are charges, flow of charges which came and which enable this fan to work. So what will happen through experiments, The rest, they will be rejected, and the one who is talking about current will be accepted. So these are reasons and logics, right? And intuition, what I'm talking to you about, the epistemology, these are intuitions. One is informal education, through your experiences, and the other is visceral. So this is intuition, is a kind of visceral. From a department, you came to know about something, from a teacher who told you about something, who taught you, who teach you something, and then you memorize that. Yes, as I said, that what is epistemology? It is knowledge of the study of knowledge, right? It is a Greek word, episteme, and it means knowledge. So you came to know about this epistemology through me. I told you about epistemology, and now you will know about it. So this is intuition, actually. Anybody of you, can you have any questions? I think this is enough. What do you say?
Yes, sir, it's enough for today.
Yes, sir.
All of you agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now those who were tacit all the time, can you please introduce yourself? Who is this Camulus? Tariq said?
Hello, Ji.
Tariq said. Okay, all of you, if any one of you want to quit, this is your choice. You can quit, because now I would like to ask rest of our students to tell me about themselves, and our lecture is over. So if any one of you want to quit, other than those who has not introduced themselves, so they can quit, or you can hear or participate. It's your choice. Okay, Tariq said, tell me about yourself. You are from Charsadda?
Ji, my name is Tariq Said from district Buneer.
District what?
Buneer, Ji, Buneer.
Okay.
Buneer, Ji, Buneer.
Buneer. It's okay. It's okay. What is your area of research?
जी मैं कोशिश करूंगा परेकार में कुछ
That's great. Inzamamul Haq.
Bye.
Inzamamul Haq. He quit, I think. It's okay. So nice of you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir.
Inshallah, we will meet in another lecture. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Inshallah.
Take
Thank
care
you,
of
sir.
yourself. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah Hafiz.